Haven't seen you for ages, mate. Well done.
I've been around. I do speak with a wee bit of an accent, so I hope you can understand me. I've been here 21 years, so it's not going to change. Kia ora, ko James Toka Ingwa. I'm the manager of Youth Alive Trust, and I've been with the Trust for just over 20 years now. We're a youth and community development agency based in New Brighton, and I've been serving young people in whānau on the east of Christchurch for over 35 years. Through a large variety of programs like weekly youth clubs and youth workers in schools, community events, Oscar programs, holiday programs, music school, parenting programs, mana ake, leadership development, and the likes. I did think actually before I started my submission, I just wanted to say a wee thank you to you guys as councillors. I'm not political in any way, but I recognise that anybody who kind of steps up to the plate and says, yep, I'll choose me. I think it takes guts and is bold, and you're always in the firing line, and you're always going to get people hating you and keyboard warriors, and I don't come to these things very often, so I admire you for doing what you do. You'll never get many likers, but good on you guys for doing what you do, and yeah, thank you. Anyway, rather than that, let's get on with it. So I just wanted two things I want to talk about. Firstly, I'm part of a project to build a new play area in Raffiti Domain. New Brighton Catholic School, with the support of a few local community organisations, including Youth Alive Trust, are advocating for the development of a play area in the domain, immediately outside of the school. The school's got approximately 210 students already using the area for sport and recreation at lunch and break times. The area is already designated as a school play area in the Raffiti Domain and Thompson Park Management Plan, where a fort and a basketball hoop already exists. Apart from that, there's just grass, trees and shrubs, and this is the main area that the children use every day for their playtime. Central New Brighton is a growing area with many new housing developments, and Raffiti Domain is the closest green space to most of these new residents. It's also the closest green space to Youth Alive Trust when running our programmes. We're advocating for a council, community, school partnership that will provide a play space for school children in our local community. Last year we did a presentation to the Waitai Coastal Bearwood Linwood Community Board, who gave the go-ahead to council park staff to work on a plan and cost estimate, and there are already other examples of this types of school community development partnerships in the city. The current fort doesn't meet current health and safety standards, and the parks team have already inspected it and know that renovation is needed. We know that there are other areas in the domain that young people can play, such as the Children's Natural Play Area, spearheaded by Kathy Baker. However, this area is too far away from the school for the school children to enjoy every day, and there's different types of play equipment that we're proposing. Thompson Park's about 1.5k away, South Brighton Domain is about 3k away. So we're already working with the council parks team, who can also see the need for this play area, partly due to the upcoming decommissioning of an old play area outside of the canopy. They also love the idea of a council community school partnership, and the school PTFA, which I'm also a part of, is offering to help raise a large proportion of the funds needed. And doing this will help with existing council systems, doing it through the existing council systems, planning and the parks team. It should also help with the current CPTED, or crime prevention through environmental design process, that the council's currently undertaking. So just in brief, we're hoping to kind of have a pump track, gaga pit, agility course, a whare, football fields, some swings, larger rope swings, and the likes. So my request to you today is, firstly, if you could set aside some funding from project ID 73980 to renew the fort on site to meet the current health and safety regs, and then consider this project when allocating parks budgets in the annual plan. Part 1. Second part of my submission is regarding the lack of car parking in the Roystokes Hall. This is a massive hall with side rooms, kitchen, stage and storage, and it was built after the community fundraising in the 1970s. After the earthquake, Central New Brighton School moved off-site to the merged Raffiti School, leaving the land and the hall. After a process, Development Christchurch Limited sold the school land to a housing developer. But the hall was saved after a big public outcry. After a tender process, Youth Alive Trust was chosen as custodians of the hall on behalf of the community back in late 2023. The hall is currently used every day and night by a large variety of groups, including circus school, dance groups, arts programs, events, markets, self-defense classes, Zumba, cultural events, and a few more. Only a small section behind the hall was kept for hall use when originally sold, which is only enough for about 6 car parks. There is parking in front of the hall for another 3, and there's some street parking. However, with the New Brighton Gateway project coming, some more of the street parking will be lost, and we're concerned that groups won't want to use this hall because the parking will be too difficult or too far away. However, there is land behind the hall that's currently not being used. We have had discussions with the landowner, and he's open to offers to purchase the land for car parking for the good of the hall and for the good of the community. If we had been involved from the start, I think we'd have lobbied DCL not to sell so much of the land and to keep some of it for car parking. Here's some pictures you'll see of the car park behind the hall. You can see it's quite limited. A side road where you can get in and out of that car park, and then the street parking out the front, which is also quite limited. This is a Google Maps image. You can see where the hall is, the current car parking, and then this is the land just behind it, which isn't being used at the moment, and it's just derelict land. For starters, we're in a pretty good opportunity where the landowner is open for sale. We've had discussions with Celeste as well, which you might comment on soon. We are aware that there is a car park over the road which is used by the museum, but this is actually owned by the Seaside Corner groups of shops who've earmarked that for their staff and for their customers, and we know that once the Gateway project into Brighton gets online, those car parks will be quite limited. Yes, I know there's car parking down in Hawke Street by the other shops, but again, with the development of the commercial area of New Brighton, this area will also be pretty premium and limited. I just think this is an opportunity we've got that we don't want to regret not doing everything possible to take it. If we don't take it, we'll never get this opportunity to get that land again, because they will build houses on it. And it's for the long-term viability, not just of the hall, of its current users, but its future users too. So I'm requesting that the council investigates what price the current landowner will be willing to send the land for. I've not had that conversation with him yet. That the council would look at cost-saving options in the Gateway to New Brighton plan by not changing the street parking outside the hall and earmarking some of that budget to purchase the car parking land instead, and that the council would earmark some funding to repurchase the land originally sold by DCL for car parking. I'm sorry, that was very wordy.
No, that's right.
But that's it.
Yeah,
Questions?
Kelly, then Jake, please.
Thanks, James. And we had Chris from the Circus Trust along to speak to Community Board. In your discussions with the landowner, was there ever any mention as to whether he'd be interested in a land swap at all?
I didn't ask him.
Yeah.
I just don't think I'm necessarily the right person to negotiate because I've got nothing to negotiate with.
Yeah, good point. Yeah. Maybe that question, Celeste, had that been brought up at all? Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a great idea.
Thank you.
Thank you. I understand you're anticipating there'll be a future parking issue there with your current needs and with great developments that are happening in New Brighton. How big is the problem at the moment? Is there a problem at the moment?
Mm-hmm. It's not a problem if you've got a class of 10 kids doing a dance class or a circus school, but when we have events of 50, 100 people, it is a problem. But often those are in the evenings.
Because you look at it and you go, there's a massive car park just about a block away.
It's 331 metres.
Yeah.
You're talking about the Hawke Street car park.
Yeah.
The Hawke Street car park, and you do realise there's going to be a massive commercial development there as well. And to ask people to use the hall, go and park in that car park if you can find a spot. And we've got big plans for New Brighton. There might not be any car park. There's an opportunity here. And might in future years go, maybe we should have taken that. That's where I'm sat.
And the land behind the shops belongs to the shops, doesn't it?
The land on the corner where
No, down at Hawke Street further.
Yeah, it's private land. It's not council land, that's correct.
Tim, please.
Yeah, thank you. Because if you look at that site, you're looking at around about 40 car parks tops. What are the numbers? You know, like when you are having a big event, is that because I mean we do have to weigh up cost versus value.
Yep.
So I'm just wondering, how many cars would you get with you, and how often would you fill the hall?
How many times would we?
Well, would it be 6 times a year? So would it be once every 2 months, or would it be more than that? Or
Well, the Zumba class gets around 25, 30 people.
yeah.
So, I mean, if they all bring individual cars, I know that's not the ideal, but it could be relatively full from that. Some of the times the circus school might get 20 on an average class. But if there's an art class on at the same time, because there's two separate sides to it, and then it depends on the size of the events.
So when you're doing those types of classes, some of those would be in the evening.
Yep, that's
So
correct.
there's surely the road's not full, as in parking on the road's not full 24/7, is it? So you'd only be needing extra car parking when it was actually a full event in the hall, surely.
Well, if we've got like about 9 car parks on site,
Yep.
the chances are most events would need more than 9 car parks.
But you
And
could,
there is going to be a redevelopment of that streetage into New Brighton to take away some more of those car parks too.
Okay, we've run out of time, but James,
Thank
just one thing that I was under the impression of, that
same as every other
when the that upgrade of Seaview Road happens, all the car parks down that side of the road vanish, your side of the road vanish for the new cycleway that's going down there. Is that correct?
I understand most of them do, yeah.
Yeah.
There is some talk of redeveloping some extra car parking. I think Celeste will know a bit more about that.
When that happens, okay.
It's almost both sides. Currently, there's yellow lines along that road. So once this shared path goes in, there will be almost no car parks. So we've added in a couple here and there, but there's quite a cost to that. So this would be more efficient in terms of cost.
Yep, that's when it happens. Okay, right. Thank you very much, James.
Thank
Good
you.
to see you, bud.
Appreciate that.
Okie doke. Kate, please, and friends.